you now have Brolin Blackcloak, and you rescued him from the clutches of the cultists. So where you guys go from here?
Home.
I say we go out of this dungeon. Would be great.
Alrighty. So
Don't worry, Brolin. There's just a little bit of a jump right here. No big deal.
no big deal for you. And he kind of puts his hands on his paunch and says, "I've got a little bit of extra weight here. I'm not 100% sure I can make that jump."
We'll just throw you across, son.
His eyes kind of grow wide and says, "Well, don't you have any rope?"
Nope.
No, but if Kiri grabs your legs, I'll grab your arms, and we can do this.
All right. I have rope. I guess we can do this that way.
Russ is gonna jump
No,
across.
throw him over. I'll catch
Throw
him.
Throw him. Me and Phelan will catch.
Oh my god.
Kiri's gonna throw a rope to Rust and Phelan.
Russ will catch the
All right.
rope.
All right, so as Brolin, takes the rope. Well, why is it going underneath? It should be going. He should be going underneath it. Why is he going underneath it? That's weird. All right, so he takes the rope, and with your guys' assistance, he swings across and then crawls up the rest of the way. And he says, "I don't know how he got down here, and I do not know the layout, so I'll follow you guys."
That seems wise.
To the right.
Are we going to backtrack then? Okay. So we've already sprung these traps.
And then down, right?
Yes.
Oh.
Come on, Phelan. You gotta remember where we're going.
No, I barely remember.
So,
Especially if you're gonna go in front.
So as you guys travel through,
How did Russ get over there?
Who knows?
Teleportation.
What on earth is happening?
Well, I'm trying to move two maps and move myself at the same time. I'm at a handicap.
Brolin says,
Excuses.
he goes, "I've been trying to set up a shop in Volstag. Once when I get things situated there, you guys are welcome to come, and I will give you a good discount on all of my goods that I will be selling at the shop."
Very kind of you.
I haven't thought of a name yet. I was thinking of like Griffin Saddlebags or the Dragon's Claw or something.
That might
Yeah.
need some workshopping.
I mean, I like the Dragon's Claw. Sounds okay.
Says I plan on having all kinds of goods that adventurers will need on their quests and things.
Wrong way, Phelan.
This place only goes in a circle.
Yeah, I think we got
Wrong way.
Here, right?
We already tried to go
No,
down
wait,
that way,
no.
remember?
That's the portal.
No, that
That's
we
right.
came down
Russ,
this way.
stay away from the portal.
We destroyed that.
You destroyed it. It's all
Oh,
in
that's right.
rubble.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It's because Russ wanted to go through it.
Yeah,
Keep going up.
I'm going. My
Talking to
little
everyone else.
My little legs only go so far, so fast. Just a PS. Bink.
And as you guys reach the entrance, you feel that the oppressiveness, that had been plaguing you the entire time that you were going through these ruins and this temple seems to lift a little bit. The darkness that seemed to permeate every inch of this place lightens a little bit, as if the dark presence that was making its home here has left. And then you find yourselves outside. You're now outside in the familiar ruins that you came here to investigate. Any horses and carts that you have uh, are still there. It's been you did have one long rest in there, so it's been 2 days. You know, um, you had enough feed for them, and you had everything ready for them. It's now we'll say early afternoon when you leave, and you know that you have to get back to Volstagg to report back to Irene in the Great Library. Now you can take the most expedient way there, or you can stop at let's see, where was that? That was with the gold, wasn't it the Golden Spoon? Isn't that what I called that?
Yeah, golden spoon.
Yeah.
Called that place that was on the coast, or you could stop there.
Let's stop at the golden spoon.
Yes, that was nice.
Great.
It'd be a nice spot to take a long rest.
Yeah.
Heal
Please
up,
and
get
thank
some
you. I
spell
want
slots
this.
back.
Yes.
All right, so you hop on your horses, and you take the road that you follow down here. And again, the road takes you over to the coast, and there's that huge cliff, right there before the ocean itself. Like I said, it was like best man, my throat. The best real world example I have would be the Pacific Coast Highway. Oh,
Bless ya.
Bless you.
that was unexpected. Sorry about that. The best real world example that I have would be the Pacific Coast Highway. If you've ever seen pictures of that, as far as how that looks, and it takes you a couple hours to get there by horse. And as you pull in, you are greeted once again by the uh, uh, stable boy as you approach the gate, and he says, "Oh, well, Metz says, I'm glad to see that you have returned. Shall I take your horses for the evening?"
Ah, yes.
Yes, please.
Take good care
And
of
then
them.
as always, good sir. And as you hand the reins over, you can see that he takes the horses to kind of like a lean-to type thing in the back. It's got the one wall and the roof and a little tiny makeshift stable. And, you can see immediately that he is, taking good care of everybody. And if I remember the name of the innkeeper correctly, her name was, I want to say it was Genaria, if I remember correctly, with the eye patch.
I remember the eye patch, just not the name.
I remember the eye patch.
Mm-hmm.
Most important detail. She lost
And
an
the most
eye.
important, and it was it was the right eye that had the eye patch.
Oh, my bad.
I'm 99% sure I named her Genaria. So that's the
Walk
wrote
name.
in
it
and the eye
down
patch is on the
somewhere,
left
but-
eye.
I don't know what I
Oh,
did with
I
my
hope not.
notes.
yeah. I hope not.
Better not be on that wrong eye.
That's the most important thing is the eye patch. Make sure it's on the right side. Yeah. I'm like, I don't know. I think the most important thing is the name. I wasn't expecting you guys to go back to this place.
We don't want to break
How
immersion.
dare you?
know?
This is a nice place to stay. We got to dance. We got to listen to Leia play. Come on now. Good
Yeah, rave
memories.
party.
Yes.
Yes, and Russ, if I remember right, bought a necklace.
I did.
That's right.
So as you enter the innkeep, you know, she sees you and she has a broad smile on her face when you enter, and she goes, "Oh my, it is wonderful to see you again, my friends. So was your expedition successful?"
It was.
Is the guy that we saved with us still? Did he get into our carriage and come with us?
I
I
am
forgot about him.
I am assuming so, because he didn't have any way to get back unless he was going to go on foot. I
We
just
found this guy, right?
I just
Yeah.
assumed that as heroes here, you would have at least offered him a ride back to Falstock.
Who said we were heroes?
Yes.
We're adventurers.
Exactly. Adventurers don't necessarily mean we're heroes.
I'm gonna cut through these
We haven't
builders
earned
and
that
go up
title
to
yet.
Janeria and say, "My lady, may we please order a round of food, whatever you have on special today is fine. Ales and grog and mead and whatever this fine gentleman, Brolin Black Cloak,
Black Cloak, yep.
wants as well, please.
Excellent idea, Laia.
Very
We rescued him from the ruins and he's been a bit put upon, so thank you."
And he
He
has
says-
offered to pay, so put it on his tab, please.
Oh,
Phelan,
wow.
no. Bad
Wow.
Phelan.
Just kidding, just
Hmm.
kidding. We will
I
cover
am more
this.
than willing.
Go ahead with
Were you?
I am more than willing to cover Mr. Blackcloak's fees with my performance. It's a minor detail.
Well, she says, "Well, my dear, any friend of yours is a friend of the Golden Spoon." And with that, she goes back in the kitchen, and you can hear her, you know, barking out the orders for the food. And then, you know, she comes out, goes behind the bar, grabs several tinkers from under the bar, and fills them up from the barrels behind the bar, brings them out to your table. And she says, "For such fine adventure as today is on the house."
Thank you, good lady.
That's very kind.
As we came upon your establishment, I noticed that your sign, your spoon, remains as aureate and golden as it was when we left. I am glad that it is held. Have you seen any more people? How long have we been gone? Like a day and a half?
2 days.
Okay. Have you had any more custom in our absence?
Well, you know, business is slow ever since the King's Road was put in. I've had a couple stragglers here and there, you know, enough to keep the lights on, as they say.
That's right. We must
This-
destroy the King's Road.
We are not destroying a road.
I'm-
That is how we
I'm-
become criminals.
I think I'd like to go up to. I'd like to go up to Brolin. Oh my goodness, and say, yeah, something along the lines of, instead of giving us a discount at your establishment in Volstag when you build it, would you perhaps make a business arrangement using your network of sources with this fine landlady here who has hosted us more than once beautifully and suffering from the lack of traffic?
Roland looks at you and he stands up and with a flourish of a bow, he says, "Let it be done then, my lady. I shall make sure that this establishment is one of the most popular in the land."
Well done, Maya.
It is a
I
very
will
good
just
thing.
say I will
Excellent
just
idea.
say thank you and go off to a quiet table. She needs a moment, and she will nurse her mead and just watch the rest of you smiling, but just give her a little bit of space.
And then a small gnome comes out of the kitchen with a massive tray that he's holding above his head with two hands, filled with, meats, breads, cheese, steamed vegetables, and he places it down,
Mm.
on the table for everyone to, to pick and choose what they want to eat. And Genario says that the vegetables are from my garden in the back, freshly picked today.
Mm. This looks excellent. And it smells amazing. I cannot wait to eat this.
This looks absolutely delicious as she's piling the vegetables onto her plate.
Right? It's just
Well, Lia's going to assume that it's not hot enough. It never is. So she's going to be pouring and pouring and pouring from her huge spice pouch before tasting it because she knows that whatever they eat here, it will not feel like home.
Mm.
We will
And,
set fire to the food and then you can eat it.
hot
then
as in
Genario says,
spicy, not hot as in heat.
Mm.
Either one. Either one. I am stone, my friend. It doesn't hurt me.
Mhm.
She eats lava rocks for breakfast.
and then with that, noticing that the slight hesitation from you, Elia, Genaria goes into the kitchen, and then she comes back out, and she walks over to your table, and she says, "I know you have a very peculiar taste when it comes to food. I remember that from last time. So
You do me a kindness, my lady.
I have procured in this time. Now, don't let everyone know. This is something that I procured from a guest here from the other day, and she sits down next to you and pulls out a knife from her belt, and then from a small pouch, she pulls out a very small green pepper, and she begins to dice it on the table next to you. And she goes, "Now this pepper is from the kingdom of Goth, way far
Ooh.
in the southeastern of the continent here, my lady. And this is a very peculiar pepper. It is a pepper that is grown in a graveyard. Supposedly one of the hottest peppers in the land." And as she continues slicing it, and the peculiar name of this pepper, believe it or not, they call it the ghost pepper. I've never heard of such thing, but it's supposed to be extremely hot. And once when she has it diced, she kind of gathers it up and then uh, gets up and then gets a small dish from the main tray that everyone was eating from, and she collects it all and
Mhm.
puts it on the dish. She says, "Now I would use this sparingly. I haven't tried it myself, but the stable hand tried it about a day ago, and uh, the noises he was making from the loo makes me feel that it is quite spicy."
Oh, that's all you, Laya.
Rust will not touch me. Actually, you know what? I'm tempted.
Rust hasn't seen it.
Mm.
Rust is assuming that Rust knows this is going on.
Oh yeah.
I will
forgot.
very solemnly turn to her, tears honestly in my eyes, and say, "My lady, you've done me the greatest kindness that I have seen since I came here. Thank you. Just, just genuine thank you." And I will slowly and reverentially put it on whatever the stew, the rabbit, whatever it is, but very sparingly so that she sees that I am not wasting it, and just eat with just like, oh, what's the word? Truly enjoying and savoring every bite. Thank you so much, madam.
And and then she produces a small burlap pouch, you know, just smaller than a coin purse, right?
Hmm.
And she says, "If you have any left over, go ahead and store it in this bag. It should be fine for a few days, even if it dries out. The seeds inside, I was told, are very, very hot as well. And don't rub your eyes after touching it either. I hear that that's a
Good to
bad
know.
thing to do. But you can store what is ever left of the pepper in that." And then she stands up and she addresses the entire group and she says, "Your rooms have all been prepared. You know, the rooms up there are yours. I will not rent them out to anyone else. I have plenty of other rooms, and I'm planning on hopefully, if I can get a good carpenter to have an extension made on the back to increase the amount of rooms that I have. But those rooms right now, those are yours, so long as you are willing to use them."
Why, thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to go over to Rust. I will have had, found a leftover seed. Say, my friend, this is good for the vision. I hear you, Rabbit. Rabbit, wherever you need it. I'll just give him a seed and let him do what he wants with it.
Sage is just plowing through her food, leaning back, smirking, watching this all unfold.
It is good for the vision, you say.
This is excellent for the vision.
Rust will rub.
Um,
Rust is gonna rub it in both his hands and then all over his face.
oh boy.
All right. Oh my God. Let's roll a Constitution save then, Russ.
Make a death saving throw, Rust.
My health. Take my
So
health.
so on a 10, you rub it on your face and all over, and it takes a second, and then it feels like you placed your face inside a fire, and like someone has taken a hot poker and is stabbing your eyes.
My eyes!
God.
I start running out towards where I think the door is.
Carrie's going to follow him, pull out the decanter of endless water, point it at him, and say, "Fountain."
All
I'm
right,
just gonna go ask for some milk.
But
so
you have to put milk on it, not water.
so Rust gets up and runs to what he thinks is the door. He face plants into the door frame, steps back a second, almost falls over, and then goes out the door. Here he runs after them. Then all of you just hear he shout "fountain," and just a gush of water. You hear this flowing of water, you know, coming from somewhere. And Russ, you're completely drenched. It's it's like a fire hose is hitting you, right? Just water just splashing against you, and through the water, you feel a hand as one hand tries to hold open your eyes to rinse it out. Once when the decanter of endless water runs its course, the pain subsides a little bit, but the burning is still there. Your eyes are completely bloodshot. Your vision is a little blurry at this point. Um, but you think that if you are able to sleep with this pain, that it will subside in the morning.
Just
Oh,
waterborne
boy.
rust.
Pretty much.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you for being willing to go into the shenanigans with me, Dream. I appreciate it.
no problem. It was fun. As
So,
I enter, I'm
for my
going
own
to
edification,
uncork the bottle of endless smoke, or ever smoking bottle.
All right. So then as rust enters, there is a ever flowing smoke just coming off of his body, just like he had been on fire, but the fire is now out and just smoke coming all over the place, all around him.
And I'm gonna say, "Whoo, that was a hot one," and then recork the bottle.
Carrie's gonna step in behind him and go, "Do you need more water, Rust?"
No, I think I'm good. I think that's just the armor smoking now. Because I also
Are
have
you sure?
Yes, I also have smoldering armor plate. It constantly wisps every now and again.
Well, I mean, I could change it from 5 gallons of water and spray you with 30 instead.
No. I'm wet enough. Wet right to the bone.
So you guys finish your meal, and if you guys want to head upstairs, you can. You can try to see if there's any entertainment for tonight. Um,
Mm.
but
I
that is
did
up to
have a
you.
question. I did have a question for Phelan. Well, Eric, would Phelan have passed on the information about the red eyes of the worm god statue?
He would have on the walk back. Yeah, I think so.
Gotcha, okay. Does that ring any bells for anyone other than the worm that walks?
Not for
Does not me.
Mm-mm.
Actually,
Okay.
we can ask the DM. Would that ring any kind of bells?
That was essentially what I was doing.
So exactly what is the question then?
Let me think. So we are aware that there's an entity called the worm that walks,
Yes.
and we have faced off several big nasty worms, not purple worms, because you are not that sadistic, thank you. Phelan has told us about the red eyes in the wormy statue.
Yes.
Does that ring any bells to me? I don't know, or any. That's what I'm
You guys,
guessing, and I apologize.
yeah, you guys can definitely do a religion check on that.
All right, I shall do so.
Bet.
It's a 16.
Nat 20.
Nicely done.
Alrighty.
I guess
Well,
I'm
let's
gonna
see.
get all the information then.
Yeah, 2013,
You have a +4 to your intelligence.
No, I have a plus
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
+3. Yeah, sorry.
Alrighty. So
Well, it's actually a
Sage.
+1. I'm just proficient in it.
Yes. So Sage, you know, nothing kind of nothing sticks out in your mind other than the information that we've already received throughout the adventure. Curie on 11, kind of the same thing. Nothing is really sticking out in your head as far as any other religious sects or anything like that. Um, Phelan on a 13, for the worm that walks on a 13 religion check, you seem to have come across, and you're kind of surprised it didn't click earlier until now, a passage in some religious text when you were studying to be a paladin, you were going through your initiate and all that, uh, about a cult that followed a mantra that um, the world needs to be reborn, reborn in through the natural course of decay. Right. So, like this in this passage, you feel that the meaning behind it is that the world must be destroyed in order to be born again. Kind of like a cycle thingy. Elia on a 16. um I see what I should. You seem to recall hearing more of like a bedtime story, more of like, this is something told to kids to get them to fall in line when they're misbehaving, of an entity known as Caius.
Nice, okay.
Caius is the worm that devours all. That it's if you don't eat your vegetables, Caius will come and eat you in your sleep. You got to eat your vegetables. Kind of along that line, right? and
Mhm.
and Rust, being a paladin yourself, through your studies, through your initiate to become a paladin, you remember hearing stories and rumors about a priest named Caius who believed that the only way to fix the world is for it to be destroyed, for it to rot, for it to decay, so it can be born again. And this priest, uh, he angered the gods with his ramblings, with his prophecies, with his ideology, so much so that he was cursed and banished from this plane of existence. Where he was banished to, you do not know. You did not get that information. But it seems to line up uh, with what's going on with the cult, with what you're seeing, right? As you sit there and try to contemplate things that are going on, it kind of seems, plus one plus one is equaling two here, that you are hearing rumors of this dark entity known as the worm that walks, that wants to destroy the world through decay and rot, and the things that this priest was banished for saying and was banished for trying to do. whether or not the two entities are one and the same, you are uncertain. But for whatever reason, this priest's ideology is being followed once again by the cult that you are currently fighting against.
All right, and I'm gonna share that information with the rest of the party as Laya asks it. Just be like, this is what I know.
Broman, friend, where did you travel from? You were knocked on the road. Where did you start?
Oh, that's a good question.
So you're talking to Brolin here. He says,
Yes.
he says, well, my lady, I myself hail from the kingdom of Goth.
Good. Okay.
In the kingdom of Goth, well, let's just say they aren't the capitalists that I wish to be. So I traveled through the elven lands of Lathanti, and I've traveled through the lands of Volstagg, trying to find a home where I can set up shop. I do have a warehouse in Goth filled with all kinds of items that I wish to sell to adventurers. And I hope to make a pretty good penny out of that once when I get things set up. And Volstagg seem to welcome me with more of open arms than any of the other two kingdoms.
But where were you? Where was your last memory at before you woke up and found us?
He says, well, I had just gotten to the hamlet of Torlin on the southeastern side of Volstagg. Uh, uh, you know, I did have a cart with me with a few goods that I was hoping to sell from the cart in Volstagg to earn enough money to buy a shop. And as I didn't see the cart when we left, I hope that the cart is still in Portland. But if I was kidnapped by these cultists, and he kind of, rubs the back of his head as he says that, he says, chances are they probably took those items.
But if you were picked up in Torlin, there might be a nest around there.
Well, I don't know one way or the other, my friend. But I will say that these cultists are probably much more widespread than what we think, or at least what is being presented to us. This is not an I doubt that this is an isolated incident.
Oh, no doubt. I agree. It's nowhere near isolated. But we will make
We
sure you get safely back.
we are returning to that's sorry, that's what I was gonna say.
Yes, we are returning to Volstagg.
I don't have any other burning questions to any of you. This is the time to ask them.
Not me.
Bedtime and time to continue our travels come morning.
Mm-hmm.
Long rest, long rest.
Yes, I am
Go to bed,
full of
Rust.
food and meat, and I am so very, very, very sleepy.
All
I'm going
right,
to
so
pound
with your
down
bellies
some.
full,
I'm gonna pound down my drink of ale.
With our
and
bellies full.
with your bellies full, you head upstairs to the rooms that Genaria has graciously provided for you, and and you sleep. You know, the night you have a long rest. You wake up in the morning, and when you come downstairs, you find that uh, Brolin himself. Um, well, it had a small setup in the corner that Genaria provide, you know, blankets and a pillow and whatnot, and he was able to sleep comfortably in the corner.
Put
And
in the corner like a child.
yeah, and then when you come downstairs, you know, Genaria's, you know, wiping down the bar, you know, and she says, "Oh, you are up. Did you have a wonderful night?"
Yes.
Yes.
Nice big old stretch.
Comfortable as it was last time.
I am going to, I think, what's the word? Prophylactically is not the right word, but it's what I like to think of at the moment. Grab the equivalent of an Egg McMuffin for Russ and say, here, eat this on the road, because we do need to get back to Vostok. So,
Oh.
my lady, could we please feed the dwarf and gather our things?
And she says, "No worries. I already have breakfast being made. Unfortunately, I don't have that much in the way of food for the morning, but I do have enough to provide hearty sustenance for your travels."
Thank you.
Wait, thank you.
And
Thank you.
when you sit down, it takes only a few moments, and then the gnome who, you know, brought out your dishes last time comes out, and he's got a large tray, and he places down, and you can see a massive bowl of basically oatmeal of pottage with a slab of fried bacon.
Mm.
I'm gonna grab that bacon.
Mm. It smells
That's
so
fine.
good.
That's fine,
And
I guess.
and you know, you can provide fresh water and everything, and and Genaria then approaches as you guys are about to leave, and she's got a small knapsack in her hands. She says, "I don't know if this will help on your travels, but I will offer this to you as you guys have been great customers, and you are, you know, spreading the word of the golden spoon throughout the land." So inside is a sack of dried oats, uh, a small slab of bacon, and a jar of lard to help prep the things as well.
I think that goes to Sage.
Yep, I
And
can put it.
yeah,
I can put it in my backpack.
I would give it to Sage or Kiri. I wouldn't give it to the guys.
Yeah,
It
I'll
might
hold
be
on
gone.
to it.
Just eating lard.
You'll just see Russ get
That's
on
all
the
I can
back of
imagine
it,
now.
just lard across the front of his beard.
Yum.
I can just see Russ taking his finger and just scooping out lard.
That or eating just raw bacon meat.
Yeah, which is why it goes to Sage or Kiri, whomever.
You just see me in the
Sage
back,
already said that she would take it.
in the
Gotcha.
back of the cart,
Just let me
glowing
know
red
if you guys
eyes.
need it.
Mount
So we have our
Russell.
cart and our horse, and
Off we head.
our horses, because Russ keeps trying to ride one.
Yeah.
He is not allowed. Him and Phelan lost their right to actually ride the horse.
How?
I know.
The last time, because you said that they were fine with just grass. No. You two are not allowed to ride the horses.
Yep.
I think it's been me driving the wagon. I think Sage has been riding. I think Kiri's been wild shaped. I've had the pallies in the wagon. I can choose Roland too.
All right.
That's
So
just fine.
So you guys mount up, the horses were, well taken care of, brushed and fed oats, for their meal. And you guys take off, and the travel takes, a good part of the day because it was, almost a day to get there, when
Mhm.
you travel here from Volstagg. And you meet up with the King's Road and you follow that north. You pass through the Blackmoor Forest. You pass the hollowed out burnt tree on the northern end, and you can see the city of Volstagg before you. You got up on the parapet on the defensive wall of the city. You can just see guards walking back and forth. You can see a small train of people going in through the southern gate. Guards, kind of making sure no one is, fishy looking per se. When they see you approach, they give you a nod and let you go in. And if I remember right, the library was in Volstagg,
It was.
where Irina was at. So now, once when you enter Volstagg, Brolin kind of hops off the cart and he says, "Well, my good friends, I owe you my life, but this is where we part ways for now. I trust it will not be for forever, but I have contacts in Volstagg that I uh, um, must meet, so that way I can continue my journey as becoming a merchant here." And then he goes off into the city. So you have your choices of things that you can do here. Since have returned to Volstagg, you can report to Irina what you have found, or you
I think
can
that's
go
a
and
good start.
okay.
That's a very good start. Let's head to the library.
And I agree.
So you decide to head off to the
Yeah.
library, and you know when you get there, you enter the basically the front room. There's the single desk. There's a woman behind the desk with red hair. It's not Irina. It's just the attendant. When you guys kind of stomp in, basically she looks up at you.
Smoking
and
and
you
covered in bacon grease.
and you now gingerly you continue walking through the library. You can see bookshelves filled with books. And you go back through the back hall, and you travel down the hall to the very last door, with Irina written on it. Do
I
you
think this
knock,
is the right door right here.
or do you enter?
Russ is going
We
to
knock.
knock
We knock.
real
We
hard.
knock.
We
We knock.
knock.
Boom.
We definitely
boom,
knock.
Boom.
Can Kiri just grab Russ's hand so he can't knock?
Irina!
Irina, we returned.
Come out!
At the very least, control Russ.
I knock so hard the door swings open.
Ah,
All right, so Irina opens the door. She looks kind of perturbed at the loud noises that were happening. She looks at you with a little bit of surprise. She didn't expect you back so soon, and then she kind of waves you in.
I enter.
And again, it's a beautiful office, a good large oak desk that Irina goes amongst and sits behind, and she leans forward and she says, "Well, my friends, what did you find at the ruins?"
Found a guy knocked unconscious, about to be sacrificed, and a whole bunch of cultists. And a statue that disintegrated with glowing red eyes. Looked like a worm.
He's like, "Oh
And he calls
my!"
that sound effect like the background for statue disintegrating.
So a ritual, you say? A sacrifice? And an effigy of a evil being, you say? Made up of earthworm. Wow. I wonder. And then she stands up and she goes to one of the bookcases on the right of the office, and she begins scanning the books. She says, "I've only heard stories, mind you. Nothing concrete, And she pulls out a large book. We'll say it's like, oh, 2 feet high, 3 or 4 feet deep. Pulls it out of the bookcase, takes it over to her desk, places it down, opens it, and kind of starts skimming pages. She turns a few pages, says, "Oh, here we are, my friends. Oh my." And then she turns the book around so everyone can see. And the first thing that grabs everyone's attention is a drawing, a sketching, if you will, on that takes up one full page. And it is of a humanoid being in a tattered cloak with, hands and feet and a face that look like a mass of worms with two little beady eyes. He says, "This is all the information I have about this particular being. Supposedly, this being was human once, and he disagreed with the order of creation and felt that the living were not the true goal of creation. He felt that the true design of creation was that of undeath, and that is the proper state of everything. And he set about to try and make that horrendous vision a reality. Mind you, this is millennia ago, if not longer. Supposedly the gods were angered, and they cursed him to be the embodiment of what he desired and banished him far, far from the realm of the living.
Well, not for long, because he's trying to return. Because these people are trying to summon him.
He says, "Oh my, the destruction that this being could do if he was able to return. If we're talking untold millions of people dying.
Well, not on
He
my
would
sundial.
he would reshape the land to be that of all of undeath.
Dang, too bad I don't have control undead.
Oh, it's really bad.
And then she goes and starts scanning, for another book and then she pulls out another one. It's not quite as large. It's a bit thicker, but not as large. And this one has some blue binding on it, and she places that down on top, and then she thumbs through it a little bit, doing a little bit of reading, page and turn, page and turn, page and turn. She says, so what I know, what has been recorded in history, is that an ancient civilization, long before we were here, they were known as the Aldarun. They were quite powerful. They had magic far beyond the capabilities of anyone here living today. But that civilization collapsed quite suddenly from the historical record. No one knows exactly why. Time frames line up a little bit. I say line up, we're talking within a few hundred years between the banishment of this worm being and the collapse of their civilization.
Mm.
There could be a link. I am not 100% sure. The Elder Rune were very mysterious. Not many artifacts from their civilization exist here today. So I suggest we have two goals going forward. One, the cultists must be stopped from summoning this being. And two, finding any relic, any scroll, any stone tablet with information about the fall of the Elder Rune. If the two are linked, like I have long suspected, the Elder Rune might have the knowledge to fight this being.
Where were they at
So
last?
she kind of looks around the room, opens her arms, and says, "They were everywhere here. There was a quite massive civilization. They had
Mhm.
floating cities. They had magic like you wouldn't believe. They were all over the place. They stretched from the Caucasus Mountains all the way down to Goth. At least that is the historical evidence that we have been able to gather."
Mhm.
She says, "It's quite possible, my friends. For I don't know him well personally, and I've only dealt with him in passing. But I believe Elanis might have some more information, as he is a wizard of extraordinary power. It is quite possible that in his studies he has come across some of the Elder Rune, and I've always suspected that it was maybe an Elder Rune spellbook or an artifact that gave Elanis his power."
Mm.
That's the staff.
Then
I
I
think we
guess we
should find
must.
Alanis.
Yeah. We must find the old elf.
My lady, before we go, you gave me briefly a name. Gareth Knight, is it Nighthawk? As a contact with the underground here in Volstagg. Is it Nighthawk?
Yes, it is Nighthawk.
Do you have the faintest idea where I might find him? And if not, I understand. You're here, I thought I would ask.
She says, "Well, if you're dead set on finding Gareth Nighthawk,
Oh, believe me, it is worth my life and more.
then I suggest you find his brother. Talk to Elanis."
Gotcha. Thank you. I will bow and I'll go out into the hallway and wait for everyone else to do their things.
Rust is gonna bow and he's gonna turn around and start skipping, going off to see the wizard.
Right.
Where was the tower door that had the dragon drawn on it? Was it at the castle?
That was at the castle. That was one of the
Okay, I
towers
think
built within the defensive wall around the castle itself.
gotcha. So are we heading back to the castle to speak to the Silanas fellow?
Mm-hmm. I think
Yes, I
so.
think that would
Aye,
be good.
I mean, if I remember things, if I remember the campaign correctly, as far as we have gotten, it was Elanis that sent you to Irina.
Mm-hmm.
It was.
Yes.
So, because you had that worm from brother
Brother
Hildebrand.
Hildebrand.
Hildebrand,
Yep. And we have the Godstone.
and you have the one
Indeed.
Godstone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And
which
it's a mix of
Carrie's
both.
still carrying. Begrudgingly.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you
Thank
don't
you.
want to carry it no
Thank
more,
you,
you can always
Carrie.
give it to Rust.
I don't trust Russ. He destroyed his bag with it last time.
Well, now it's in another bag, and my bag is
And
fixed.
I still don't trust Russ to keep it safe.
So
Carrie's
I
gonna keep
think
a hold of it to make
I
sure it's
will.
safe.
I will. Let's see. Phelan, my friend, do you remember the door with the dragon that we saw before we left? Do you want to stop by it before we talk to the Sylvanas or after?
Hmm. I don't know that it matters to me. Either way.
Edge, while the young'uns are arguing behind us, what do you think?
I think we should check it out beforehand.
Yeah, we could check it out before.
And we
I
would have
think
stopped.
I
So,
think you're one of the youngins there, Rust.
all
Mister,
right.
I'm gonna skip
So
in a library singing.
we head off. We head off to the castle. We look at the door. What do we want to do with the door? Or do we want to go to Ilana's first? I didn't really.
Let's go to the door first.
All
Mhm.
right.
Fast.
Okay.
All right, so
Um.
you leave the library, you pass through the merchant district, you pass through the port that's bustling, with all the day's wares that are coming in and whatnot. And as you approach the defensive wall around the castle, the guards seeing you return, uh, they know who you are by now. They've seen you pass through a couple times already. They let you go. You're in the courtyard of the keep, basically. The barracks to the right, the stables to the left, guards all over the parapet, and there's the one lone black tower, right? With a single door, you know, at the base, and the silvered rune of a dragon with its wings spread open in flight.
It was okay. Uh, I would like to investigate it, perhaps.
Mhm.
All right. So you approach the door, and as you approach the tower and approach the door,
Mm-hmm.
you know, no guard is stopping you. You know that they've seen you come and go a couple times already, so they're kind of used to your presence uh, in the area. And as you get close to the tower itself that's built into the defensive wall, you feel this arcane power, right? You just it's immense, right? As you approach, the hair on your arm begins to stand up like static electricity, and it only intensifies as you get closer. So you're standing at the base of this tower, looking up. The tower has four spires up at the top, you know, and it looks like, a clawed hand reaching up into the sky. And you're looking at this tower, and you realize there's no windows. So what are you going to do?
Sorry, my intrusive thoughts nearly gave an unhelpful answer. I'm going to sit back here quietly.
You can try knocking. You could try opening the door. There only appears to be this one way in.
I'm gonna knock on the door.
I was good. Yeah, Rust, you seem unbreakable. Go knock.
Knock on the door right on the mark, Rust.
All right. Rust will walk right up to the door. X marks the spot, right? And just start pounding. Yelling, Gladys! Hello?
Hmm. All
My
right,
dwarven friends, do
so
you have a? Sorry,
well, hang on. So
no, I was-
Rust walks up to the door, raises his hand to give it a good knock, right? And the second his hand hits the door, Rust is no longer there.
Ooh. That was unexpected.
Sorry, Rust.
I'm gonna follow.
Human sacrifice.
All right.
On a scale of 1 to fucked, how fucked am I?
A one.
Oh, okay, cool.
A
Phelan
one.
will go. He'll go repeat what Rust did.
So Phelan walks up, raises his fist to knock on the door, and the second his fist hits the door, Phelan is gone.
I would have just immediately walked through following Rust. I tried to walk through without knocking. Does it work?
Well, are you going to knock, or are you going to try to just open the door?
I was just gonna try and walk through,
Oh,
like physically through the door.
So you try to walk physically through the door. All right. So
Yes.
you as you approach the door, approach the door. You're like, man, if this doesn't work, it's going to hurt. And
It's fine.
the second basically your nose would touch the door, you disappear.
Okay.
All right, Carrie, are we doing this?
I mean, we could either follow those three or just go see the king and hope and pray that they come out at some point.
I do not know how I feel about this.
Geronimo!
TPK.
Leroy!
Okay, that's it. You said Leroy. On that note, Kiri is going to turn towards the castle and walk inside. She's just leaving.
Oh my goodness.
Kiri's going straight to the king. She's just gonna call it good there.
Okay. Well, Sage is figuring that Laya and Phelan and Rust surely are together, so I better not leave Kiri alone. So I'm gonna follow Kiri.
All right. Whew. So I will do. We'll follow Rust, Phelan, and Laya first, and then I'll follow up with Sage and Curie in a little bit. All right. So Rust, you find yourself in a dark room, and you're there for like maybe a second, right? And then and the darkness is there only for a second, and then a torch lights, and from the light of that torch, it's at the base of a spiral staircase going up. So that torch lights, and then a little bit up from the stairway, another torch lights, and as that lights, Phelan appears right next to you, and then further up a third torch lights. And then as the fourth torch lights, Laya appears next to you.
Hey
It's
guy.
very calm, very
Hello
quiet.
there.
Um, you get a feeling. All three of you get this feeling that you're being watched.
I feel
Well,
like I'm being watched.
I feel that too. I'm gonna start walking up the stairs as that's the only way I could think of going.
I'm going to mage hand slap him and say, "My friends, we have just done something very stupid. Do not, do not add this." I'm trying to take notes.
Actually, what happens if I turn around and walk the other way? Like walk down the steps.
Well, you're
So we're
not
not on
on
the
the
steps; it's a
steps.
landing.
You're on a floor level, right? God, I wish I don't really have a map to kind of pictures. So picture that you are like in a circular room, right? And to your left is a spiral staircase going up with a single torch on the wall lit at the bottom, and then several steps up another one, several steps up and another one, and as you look up, right, you can see this spiral staircase. You can see these torches lighting and continue to light several, after several steps, going up as far as the eye can see.
Um,
Surrounding you, right? Looking about the room, all you see is black stonework. You don't even see a door behind you.
ah, hello. Is there anyone there?
And your voice carries and echoes, right? And then
We sorry.
from the darkness, you see. I'll go ahead and reuse this. You see two eyes
Oh
appear.
balls. Okay.
They're glowing a faint yellowish glow.
So I have dark vision. Would I be able to actually see what this figure is besides just the eyes?
You
I do
don't
too.
you don't you don't see a figure, just floating eyes. Even with dark vision, just floating eyes.
I thought you said this was a one out of a scale of 1 to 5.
This, yeah, that's a one.
Oh god. Okay.
You know what?
Hello. We
Go ahead.
say hello. We are curious travelers. We may have made a wrong turn out of folly. Uh, we are more than willing to leave if you can show us the way to leave. And I'll just leave it at that.
All right. And then you guys hear in a hollow voice that resonates through this circular room. And the voice says, "The master is in his study."
Is that up the stairs?
The eyes kind of look at you. And what was kind of you, if there was a way for this entity to sigh, like, ah, that is the feeling you get. Even though there isn't a vocal sigh, there isn't a movement or anything that would signify it, but that is the feeling you are right now getting that this entity it would be doing.
Would
Yes,
you
the study is at the top of the stairs.
Rust will start climbing the
would your
stairs.
master be willing to receive? I'm gonna mage slap you again. Uh, would your would your master be willing to accept visitors, or is this off limits?
The eyes turn and now face you, Laya, and
That's fine.
they slowly come in close, right? And when they come in close, I mean, it's like if this thing had a body, you would see the body, but you don't. It's just two eyes.
That's so gross.
And it says, the master will accept visitors.
Up the stairs,
Lovely.
Russ walks. Mage hand slap or not, he is walking up the stairs.
I think we do only have one way to go.
I will say thank you, and I'm going to work on the assumption that both of you are already going upstairs. I'll bow and say thank you. And does your master require any sort of give me a thing? Thinking with the Fae, like there's a favor. Like, would we owe your master anything in return for his time?
The eyes kind of look at you and they squint down a little bit, kind of making sure that this entity is talking to you, and says, "Are you not already in my master's employ?"
Would your master?
The eyes kind of float back a little bit and looks at you guys and says, "There's only one master of this tower, Dark Moon."
Ilanis.
Is for coming in late? Is that a name for Alana's?
Yes. That's it's
That
Okay,
Alana
gotcha.
Darkmoon.
Gotcha. Thank you.
So I
Thank you.
repeat, are you not already in the employ of my master?
Indeed, we are. Thank you for your time.
Very well. My master is in his study.
As I'm halfway up the steps, can I yell down? Is he working hard or hardly working?
Mage hand slap again.
You know what I
Oh,
Oh my
mean?
god.
It's only 30 feet, so I will have had to run. I will have had to run to get up there.
oh my. Oh my. All right. So as you guys go up the steps, you're looking up and you're like, these are going far beyond the physical height of the tower.
Magic steps.
So like the top, so like the tower itself from the outside looks to be maybe 4 or 5 stories tall. Inside, looking up at all these stairs, I mean, as far as the eye can see, this stairway goes up. So it's far beyond the physical height of this tower. So you guys are going to start climbing these stairs?
Yep, it's
Yep.
clearly bigger on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Yeah, like a TARDIS, you know. All right, so while you guys are climbing the stairs, uh, Sage and Kiri, you enter the throne room. You know the double doors are open, the guards are there, and you know they let you pass, and there's all kinds of dignitaries, you know. And as you're walking into the throne room, you know you know, as dignitaries are talking and doing, you know, backdoor deals, you know, you know, the crops, you know, we're gonna have to worry about the crops this year, and what about that shipment? You know, we didn't get that shipment in, you know, and then there's, you know, King Valric, you know, sitting on his throne. You know, he's rubbing his temples. You know, the crown is a little crooked right now, and you know, and he's patiently listening to a dignitary rattle off, you know, some type of, you know, crop yield or something like that. As you approach, you know, and behind, slightly behind his throne, is again, you know, his bodyguard, and you know, breastplate. You know, it's got a sword, the long black hair. You know that's Genevieve, or yeah, Guinevere, and remember going Gwen for short. Took me a while to get that name down, but I think I've come up with a name that I really like for this character. You know, and of course she's, you know, leaning up against the back of the throne, you know, rather familiarly. So what do you do?
Gary's just gonna walk straight up and go, Your Highness, it's been quite a while.
Sage follows up and sweeps into a low bow.
And as Valdric looks up, you know, his eyes widen, and you know, has a nice broad smile, and he raises his hand like in a stopping motion, you know, and the dignitary just kind of stops short, and then he waves his hand uh, in a dismissed motion to the dignitary. And the dignitary bows and goes off, you know, looks rather dejected, and you can just, you know, begins talking and whatnot. The politicians, you can't trust them, right?
Right.
Right.
And Valeric kind of sits up a little bit, and you know, and with both hands, you know, motions for the two of you to get closer. And as you approach the throne, he leans forward and says, "Well, my friends, what did you find?"
First things first, you need to fix your crown. Good sir. I am sorry, but you are a king. You are of high standing. I get these politicians are frustrating, but you deserve to look your best no matter what.
Well said. The king must always look kingly.
Carrie's
Yeah,
in full lecture mode.
Um, so he takes a moment to adjust his crown, and you know, uses his hands to straighten out his tunic and whatnot. And he says, "Well, there. So, what did you guys? What did you find? And where is the rest of your party?"
As
There's
for the rest
much.
of our party, they have decided to disappear into one of your walls. Don't know where they went, but they're gone.
Please tell us that you know about the Black Tower and what is in there.
Yeah, Valric kind of
Nope.
chuckles to himself and says, "I know what's in the Black Tower. And that they will not come out the same for better or for worse."
We're gonna come out married?
Wow, it's
Till death do them part.
oh my god.
Sorry.
Oh, there it
Russ
is.
got
There he
married and
is.
left.
There is a paladin spell called ceremony where you can marry people.
Yes, there is.
Okay.
Take a breath. Deep breath.
Okay. I think I'm good now.
Oh, so good.
Well, they're the ones that decided to go into the wall, so I suppose that is only fitting for them to be changed in some sort of way. But on other notes, with what we found a ritual that had a sacrifice involved, and there was a statue that was pretty heinous looking, to put it simply.
And we saved the sacrifice. It was not sacrifice.
Oh yeah. That's important part too.
Because
We
we're
did save
heroes.
them.
Because we're heroes. And that's what we do.
The king, he says, "Well, that is both troubling and excellent news at the same time, my friends. I am relieved that you stopped such a horrendous act from happening. Um, and did you
Sorry, I was
report?
just clearing my throat.
That's fine. Did you report your findings to Irina?
We did.
And what was her opinion on the situation?"
It was rather troubling.
And she says that we needed to find Ilanis and speak with him about the Aldaroon.
Alric's eyes, grow a little wide at that, and says, "That the Aldo rune? Really? Well, the Aldaroon haven't existed in quite some times, my friend. But if there's anyone that would have any information on the Aldaroon, it would probably be Alanis. He extensively studied them when he was, uh, when he was in school for magic, per se."
Well,
Do
hopefully
you
our
have any
friends are
idea where
finding
we'd
him.
be able to find him?
He's in the Black Tower. That is where he resides when he's not at my side. That is his sanctuary, as it
And
were.
our friends just barged in there like a bunch of rabid dogs. Oh, those
I
those poor
believe
souls.
he's currently performing a marriage ceremony in
uh, Sire, have you heard of Caius? Or any sort of stories about Caius?
He kind of looks at you and says, "That is only a bedtime story, I'm afraid. Caius isn't
Oh,
real."
so you have
I'm
heard of
afraid that it
Caius.
might be true.
Mhm.
Really?
Indeed.
It seems the cultists are trying to summon Caius. And that is why we need to know more about the Elder Rune, because perhaps their records could show us a way to fight him or to stop this from happening.
And Valric kind of leans back into his throne, eyes kind of wide and wild, and think Caius is real. I've only heard the bedtime stories, and they are meant to scare children into obedience, really.
Any little
Oh,
story that you could share with us would probably be a clue. Every story comes from a bit of truth from somewhere down the line. They had to start somewhere.
Mhm.
there is some wisdom in that line of thought. The story that I know is that children who misbehave could how do I want to say this? Children who misbehave risk the chance that Caius would come and take them away.
Mm. Do they say where he might take them?
No, but there is no return once Caius takes you.
Mm. That sounds terrifying.
That sounds like a sacrifice to me. A misbehaved child that suddenly disappears and never to return. Any sacrifice that's given, they never return.
Mhm.
Very true, very true.
That might be where the cultists are coming up with the idea of a sacrifice to bring him back.
That's a thought.
That's a very good guess, my friend. Elanus might be able to shed some more light. I'm not sure if he's ever studied Caius, because, like I said, Caius was just, he was the boogeyman in your closet.
Hmm.
It seems he's more than just a boogeyman in the closet at this point. He's gone from the closet to the world.
Hmm.
Yes, yes, the worm that walks. I had hoped that all of this was just a hoax, but it appears that that is not the case with the evidence before me. You, Kiri, have a godstone. You presented in my court a worm. And now you're telling me cultists are trying to perform sacrifice. This is very troubling. I do not know how we can fight against a myth, a legend, a story.
You fight a myth with a myth.
Hmm.
If he is
Elder Rune.
if he is considered true now, then the Eldaroon might be the only thing that can save us, given that it is considered a myth at this point as well.
Hmm.
That is very interesting. He kind of rubs his chin a little bit and says, "Well then, I suggest we wait till your friends return, if they are meeting Elanus in his tower. I'm sure they will have more information to uh, provide us with what is going on then."
Well, while we wait, you should eat then, because it does not look like you have eaten in a while.
And he says, "That is an that's an excellent idea, my friend." And then he stands up and he claps his hands, and it's very very loud clap, stops all of the talking and the whispering in the throne room. And he says, "It is time for a break. I need a moment. Leave me, and I will summon you all when I am ready to deal with more of the doings of the kingdom." And as he says that, guards kind of, step out from their posts within the throne room and kind of usher all of the dignitaries out and close the door, the double doors. And Valerie kind of looks at you and says, "Come, we shall go to the kitchen." And he gets up and he heads over to the back door, and uh, Guinevere follows him, or Guinevere, I should say, not Guinevere. Guinevere follows him. And do you follow him as well?
Yes.
All right.
They're
So
getting
while you are
deeper.
off, yeah, while you're off having lunch with the king, I will return to our three friends in the tower. So you guys have been walking for what seems ages.
Stairs.
You think that you have been walking for at least an hour up these steps. Your legs ache, your back aches, but there's always another step. And the funny thing is, as you're going up these steps, you don't see any other doors. There's no other landing, nothing, just solid black walls. And then finally, exhausted, tired, more work, this is more work than you've done in a long time getting up these steps. You, you finally come to a single landing with a wooden door.
Knock, knock, knock. Elanus!
Alanis,
Trust, trust. Let
All
Roland lead, please.
right, so it's kind of late. You guys begin to knock, and you knock almost in unison. It's Russ followed by Phelan followed by Russ followed by Phelan followed by Russ. All right,
Boom, 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 boom,
and
boom,
on the fourth knock, the door swings inward, and you're greeted by a bright light. Right, I mean it's blindingly bright. And then as your eyes begin to adjust, because you were in such a dark area, that had a little bit of light, as your eyes adjust, you can see a massive study, right? Candelabras all lit, lighting up everything. There's a single massive crystal globe up in the ceiling, also giving off this pale white light.
Disco ball?
The No, just a solid. You know, he's not that cool. You know, you have half expect to see lava lamps all over the place, but no. the I mean, this study is 5 times larger than Irina's, right? You know, you can see toward the back a small raised dais with a massive oak desk, and behind that is a window overlooking the ocean from, and you can see the ocean even from your vantage point through this window, right? There are books and scrolls lining all of the walls. There is another table, well, workstation, if you will, to your left, filled with uh, glass bottles and beakers and liquids bubbling and boiling and roiling all about, various different liquids, and then smoke and mist coming off of some of these bottles. You can see a massive um, astrolabe structure. Yeah, I'm assuming everyone knows what an astrolabe is. Used for navigation on ships and things.
I do now.
It's not quite a sextant, but it's similar. You know, on your right, there is a bear skin rug between you and the desk, and then to the right of the desk is this perch, right? It's a large pole that goes almost it's probably say 7 feet in height, and has like a T bar at the top, and coiled on this thing is a horrifying sight, a skeletal serpent coiled all the way up, you know, and it kind of the head kind of leans out over the T, the skeletal head looking at you, and not far down its body from its head, it has skeletal wings that, as the door opens, those wings begin to spread open, and within the empty eye sockets of the skull are two little blue pinpricks of light. You see a figure standing behind the large oak desk, dressed all in black robes with silver runes on the hem of the sleeves, down the center of it. Long blonde hair streams down, so long that even though he's hunched over the desk, the hair is kind of gathers on the desk. You see the familiar staff of Elanus off to his would be your left, his right, just kind of floating there in the air, just a little bit, almost uh, slowly rotating counterclockwise. And as you stand in the doorway, not even looking up, you hear Elanus's raspy voice. Well, my friends, are you going to come in, or are you going to stand at my door?
It's so pretty. And then I walk in.
I'll follow.
Failing as well.
All right. So you enter, and when you enter, you can hear the door behind you slowly begin to creak and close behind you. Elanis is looking over a massive tome of magical uh, theory, if you will. And without even looking up, he still addressed you. He says, "Well, please tell me, what did you find? What did Irina have you do?"
She sent us to some ruins and said we might find information there. I will let my companions give you greater detail. Would you please not close the door all the way? There is no one coming up.
What was that?
She asked him to not close the door of the study all the way. Excuse me. There is no one coming up behind us that we were aware of.
We need to be able to escape if things get weird. So we went down to a place in a dungeon, and there was a lot of cultists, and they were trying to sacrifice somebody, and we saved him, and his name was?
Roland Black Cloak.
Yes. And there was some sort of statue with reddish eyes, and it disintegrated. And we came up here, talked with Irina. She sent us to find you. We knocked on the door of this tower. You made us walk up 100 flight of stairs, and here we are.
We may have annoyed your doorkeeper, and I would like to speak to you about a fellow named Gareth Nighthawk, but that is not the main concern at the moment. I think we're more concerned about our quest from Irina.
We're here to talk about the Eldaroon and what you know about them.
Thank you.
Oh, Elanis, getting bombarded with all this information.
Sorry.
Pauses what he's doing, and he looks up at all of you. He seems rather haggard. It doesn't look like he's slept in a while. He's got bags underneath his eyes, and his face is very drawn. He doesn't look healthy at all, right? And he looks up and says, "Oh, that is quite a lot of things that have happened, apparently. Well, first off, Gareth Nighthawk, my brother. If you wish to talk to him, I will make sure he is here to hear what you have to say. Might take a
You would
little
have my
time. He is a quite busy fellow."
gratitude. Thank you.
As far as this sacrifice, you say there was a statue. What did the statue look like?
Wasn't it a worm?
Seems right.
It was a humanoid.
A humanoid worm.
Yeah, it was a humanoid worm. It was basically Cthulhu without the wings. It was a humanoid worm, and apparently its eyes emitted light briefly, and then it's utterly disintegrated.
Luana's kind of takes in a deep breath at that. You said the eyes emitted a light. Who saw this light?
I saw the light.
Luana looks at you. And he says, please approach. It is only a precaution, it's only a precaution, my friend.
I'm good where I am. No, Phelan will approach.
Approach with caution.
All right, so when you approach the desk and you go up to the dais and you approach the desk, Lannis reaches out his hand and his palm is right before your face. And he begins to speak the words of magic, and you can feel this arcane power just sort of kind of like enter you. And then when he finally releases the spell, there's like a second or two pause. And then he sighs. Well, you were not cursed. Thank the gods for that.
That's good news.
It is good.
So you saw a statue that was humanoid, that was made of worms, you say? That is a
Yes.
very evil totem. You were lucky that it didn't curse you when it did that. So the worm that walks is real. I had hoped.
It would appear so.
I had hoped against hope that it was a hoax of some kind. That tells me we are in great danger. Tell me, what do you know about the cosmology? It's okay if you don't know anything.
There were giant avatars, and they fought. And this is what I'm trying to remember. And they created the great chasm, and they were petrified. And when they fell, they spread. And I'm gonna get the names wrong. There are stones with Eroman and
Yes.
Loriard.
Loriard. Yes, yes. The god of good and the god of evil. But there are more gods out there than just the two of them. You see, when everything was created, it was created through the power of... Oh man, now I've got to look it up. Shoot. I used to have these... Oh, it's been a while. I apologize. Give me 1 second because I got to make sure I get these names
Wasn't it
correct.
core?
Core was a lesser. Well, not lesser, but Core was one of them. Get to my drive.
Oh, bananas. You share this with it. Tooth. Argyle.
Why am I only getting a oh yay. You're kidding me, right? Why won't it open here?
Elon Hill.
Yeah, all right, here we go.
And Tara.
Well, Terror is one. He says, you see, when everything was created, right? Before that, there was two. There was Epoch and Elanhel. Soulmates, if you were, or if you will. They are the creators of all things. Epoch is the embodiment of everything that you know that is time, physical being. Elanhel is the embodiment of life itself and death. And together, they created everything that you see. And from them came the four aspects. You have Core, the maker. Nahij, the mind. Eraman, the light. Loriarty, the dark. And Terra, nature. And the four lived harmoniously, balanced. Everything was as it should. When the world was created, mortals began to covet what the gods had, covet their power, covet their knowledge, covet their immortality. Since the dawn of time itself, some mortals went against the gods themselves, wanted to be a god themselves. That is the start of Caius himself. Caius was a mortal man who coveted the power of the gods, thought that the gods did not know what they were doing, did not believe in the divine plan of all. He wanted to destroy everything. He felt that life wasn't the true creation. He felt that undeath is the natural state of things. For all things die, all things rot. So that should be the natural state of things. Well, this angered the gods. And they intervened. And they banished him to a plane of existence far from reality, shackled him and chained him. but they did have help in doing so. Excuse me. Caius had amassed so much power that he frightened the gods. So the gods reached out to the mortals of the world for help, each in their own way. So it was that the Elder Rune helped the gods chain Caius. I did not believe that this was a reality. Did not believe that this fantastical story was true. You see, I thought it only a myth. But I should have known. All myths have a kernel of truth buried within them. How much is true and how much is story is what we'll need to discern. I would like everyone that's in this room to do a perception check, please.
That is a 7.
I see that. My goodness, you are just oblivious to everything going. This whole story is like going over your head.
Is that a
You
short
know.
joke?
Well,
Yes,
yeah,
perhaps.
that too. Phelan and Laya, you are completely unnerved by the fact that this skeletal snake is looking at you two. He's looking at
Yes.
all three of you, and his gaze hasn't stopped. And its mouth is kind of open and in like a a hissing motion.
I'm about to be bit, aren't I?
Why is your snake looking at us, Alanis?
He has not broken contact and he has no eyes. It's unnerving. Rust, get back here.
So as you say that, Ilanis comes back to himself. He kind of, as he was saying this, he, kind of had a far off look in his eyes, and when you say that, it kind of, brings him back to the present and what is going on, and um, he looks over at the snake, reaches over and flicks the nose of the snake. Ekis, we have guests. Behave yourself.
It's alive. I'm gonna pet
Rust, get back here.
it.
My Lord Lannis, I see blue in the eyes of your companion Ekis. That was the color, if I remember correctly, reflected in the eyes of the dragon on your staff, no? What is the commonality?
Red. I thought it was.
It was
Sorry.
it was red on the staff. That's quite all right. So Linus kind of looks at you and says, "It is okay. Ekis is my familiar. He was once the familiar of my mother.
The Lady Selenia.
That is correct.
We have the pleasure of finding her study and the window to Lavati.
And he says, "Ah, yes, that was my mother's homeland. That is a story for another day." And he says, "We are in for some dark times, my friends. We must find out if these cultists truly are trying to summon that which cannot be summoned. If the stories are true, if the myth is real, the gods themselves chained Caius. There is no breaking of these chains. At least to my knowledge. And he kind of paces back and forth behind his desk a little bit, deep in thought. And he says, "The gods trusted the Aldo Rune for help. Do you realize how unconventional, how weird that is? What did the Aldo Rune know that even the gods didn't know?" Very interesting.
Very.
Joanna says, "I will need some time. I studied the Elder Rune when I was in school. I will have to go through my notes to see if I can find a link." Excuse me. "I might need a day or two. My research was quite vast." And as you look about the room, and you're looking at all these books that he has in his room, they're all bound in the same dark blue leather, and they all have one single rune on their spine. It's a silver rune of a dragon with his wings spread in flight. Now, if you would like, I'm just going to tell you. I think that it would be quite obvious that all of these books were written by Elanus. Every single book in here was penned by Elanus. This is his library of spells, library of all the magical knowledge he's accumulated over his long life.
Is there a way I can look through the book for the spell Fireball?
You're more than welcome to try. Elanus isn't going to stop you from trying to, pull down a book and read. Curiosity killed the cat, as the saying goes. So he's not going to stop you. In fact, he might even feel honored that you would even want to read any of his ramblings within the books. Whether or not you would have the mental fortitude to understand what is written, that's up, for debate. We would have to roll the dice on that because obviously, as a wizard of his stature and power, he's not going to write these things down in the common language. It's going to be in magical runes and the language of magic. And not everyone is able to read this language. Only those that are learned in the ways of magic would be able to read these things. That being said, someone with a natural aptitude for intelligence might be able to decipher some of the writings.
Well, I have a +1.
As do I. we're not the party overrunning with brains, I fear.
You know what?
Um.
YOLO. I'm gonna grab one of the books.
Oh God. All right, I will help you.
All right, so you go to a book and you grab it, and Elias kind of looks at you and he kind of has a half smile on his face and he says, "Be careful, my friend. Knowledge is power. With power comes responsibility.
I will use
Not
it well.
everyone who wields power is worthy of it." So you want to try to see? Well, give me an intelligence check, please.
Intelligence.
And I'm helping, so
All right, so you'll get to add a +2 to whatever you get. So you
That's
get a
16.
16.
That's a pretty decent roll.
That's a pretty decent roll. So you pull out a book and you flip it open and you know try to decipher the runes written on the page, and the runes, they dance, right? They move about the page, and as you begin to focus and put your will for knowledge, your thirst for knowledge on, you focus it onto the page, the runes begin to form sentences, and you are able to read. And the book that you pulled appears to be uh, a trist. What's the
treatise.
a treatise? Is that how it's pronounced?
Treatise. Treatise. Yeah.
Yeah, treatise. Uh, on the power of crystals and the ability to store energy and release energy.
Hmm. That might come in handy.
Yeah, right. And
He just learned Fireball.
he says, "Feel free to take your time to read that. It is a very good tome. You know, crystals are something that people have moved away from, and is not a a science that is used much now these days."
Hmm.
But he says, "Give me a few days to go through my old notes, and I will try to see if I have can deduce a link between the Elder Rune and what they did with the gods regarding Caius."
I say
And with that, we will end today's session.
I was gonna say, I will
Cool.
say thank you and store the book in my bag to try and read and learn a little more about these power crystals.
All right.
I'll return it when we come back.
So that is where we will lead today. I